Good morning, my name is Carl Spencer and I'm hosting this 21st Century Training webinar. We're going to try and keep the webinar short and compelling. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to contact us afterward and we'll endeavour to answer all your questions. Your screen is going to change shortly to give you the maximum benefit of the slides I'm going to show. So training. Training is an important component of establishing competency in our businesses today. Now we need to understand that only 10% of what we see, we remember. That's an average, approximate percentage. Now that increases to 30 to 40% of what we see and hear. So using different sensors increases our memory to remember and retain the information. And that goes all the way up to 90%. So 90% of what we remember is based on what we see, hear, and do. Three very basic important things of completing training. So do what we see, hear, and do. Follow it up with actions. Follow it up with tests, and to ensure that our workers are doing it daily or weekly. And we also need to increase awareness because training is not sufficient on its own. So we need to go continuing with knowledge. And we need to increase the skills through practice to develop competence. And we need to take different things into account while doing this. So we need to take into account young employees. And they're going to be very green in our business. So we need to develop training that's suitable for them, which is going to be developed, which is going to be different to a long-term employee. We need to take into account capabilities. Again, we can't be training somebody to use a machine that they're never going to be competent in doing. So we need to understand what their capabilities are. And we can do all this by linking it together in a risk assessment. So risk assessments are required under Regulation 3 of the Management at Work regulations. There was a previous webinar on risk assessments. But by writing down your risks and hazards, then you can effectively put in place control measures. And that control measure would be your training and how you deliver that training and check that training is in operation. So it all links up. Quite an important thing for you to deal with. Don't just do training on their own. We need to make sure that it's delivered right. And we also need to take into account skills decay. That's the reduction of our remembrance of the task that we're doing over a length of time. So on this graph that we can see here, the way our brain retains information is like an exponential curve. It drops off very quick. We've got retention on the left and we've got time across the bottom. So our retention of this information drops off very quickly over a short space of time. On average, 40% over a few months. So it's about understanding that we're doing this to ensure that we can give it the maximum delivery. Now, if we know that, why do we wait 3 years to deliver training? A lot of the businesses we speak to say, oh, we'll come back in 3 years and do that training. Sometimes it's 1 year, but that's probably the most frequent is 1 year. But if we're forgetting things after just a few months, why don't we do this more frequent? And one of the biggest problems that we will deal with on this is costs. It's not only the cost of paying out the £1,800 for the training session, but it's also for operations to lose them people. So they've still got to get that work done, them operations managers and directors, and now they've got no workers to do it because health and safety has got all the workers in a room every 6 months, every year for training sessions. So it's important that we can put that into our pot to tackle as well. So what does the Health and Safety Executive state? The Health and Safety at Work Act 1974 states you need to provide whatever information, instruction and training it is needed to ensure the health and safety of your employees. It doesn't say 3-year training, it doesn't say 1 year training. It just says whatever information, instruction, and training is needed to ensure the health and safety of your employees. To prevent harm, that's the ultimate requirement of the Health and Safety at Work Act. So let's look at today, 2018, and moving forward. Now, if we can deliver better training we can make it more efficient by using the tools that we have with us every day. Because if we're going to deliver more frequent training, then we need to get our directors and the board members on board by saying, don't worry, we're just going to be using the tools that we all have today. We also need to use that technology because, as I mentioned, you take all the people out of a business and that business can't perform operationally, somebody has to cover for that, shifts, that has a cost to it, and bringing all them people into one room that could be scattered around the country. So if we can do technology anywhere, 24/7, 365, we're going to be more effective in how we deliver it, more cost effective for the business. And then lastly, we need to look at this being a litigious age. So we need to ensure that the training, we've got the proof that that training was effective. And that's not only from a failure of the Health and Safety at Work Act, but it's also for compensation claims. On average, there is one health and safety breach per day, and that's about 30–40% less than the compensation claims. So compensation claims have always been there, but we make sure that we've got the proof to ensure that we are doing everything practically possible, and a no win, no fee won't win over us if we can provide that proof. So we need to ensure that we can bring all that together in one place and make it more effective for us to deliver this. And we also need to make sure we link all this together because we don't want to use a huge amount of time and resource to do this if technology can help us in the 21st century. So instead of just doing something again and again and again in series, we need to kind of work in parallel and make sure knowledge, skills, competence are all linked together easily, and give management the tools that they need to review and to see what's happening and to follow it through and to carry on with little tasks for our workers to ensure they are doing what we ask them to do. Again, back to the beginning, see, hear, and do. And bringing all that together is a way that we can improve training, skills, and knowledge in our business. So what is the risk of getting it wrong? Well, under the Health and Safety at Work Act 1974 is the Management of Health and Safety at Work Regulations 1999. And under Regulation 13, it states every employer shall provide adequate health and safety training. It doesn't say, again, every 3 months, every 3 years. It just says adequate health and safety training. You know your business, you know your industries, you know your people. You can create adequate health and safety training easily. So is this a common thing to be prosecuted on? Well, I've just gone onto the HSE this morning and put on a couple of notes from the HSE press releases. One of them from November the 18th this year. This was a dyeing company caused serious injuries to employees in 2 separate incidents. And that inspector stated that that company failed to properly assess the risks associated with dangerous moving parts of machinery and then apply effective control measures. And the effective control measures to minimise that risk would have come from the risk assessment and would have potentially involved training. Because if we had done the risk assessment, the control measure would be to adequately train the worker on the task at hand. This company failed to do it. That resulted in a £12,000 fine and a £12,000 in court costs, and also the injury to the employee. Was that the only one this month? Well, no. November the 13th, a fencing company was also fined after a worker was injured. Injuries to his hand. And the inspector on this case said those in control of work have responsibility to devise safe methods of working and to provide the necessary information, instruction and training to their workers in a safe system of working. So, and that resulted in a £53,000 fine, £4,000 costs, and a worker injuring his hands. Now, there are only 2 I've picked out this month, and the 2 that are relevant to the training element. If you go into the HSE press releases pages, as I've said, generally there is 1 a day breach of many different parts of the Health and Safety at Work Act. So it's important we do get this right. It is important that we prevent harm and also prevent prosecution. So how can we help? How can Safety Pal help with you in the 21st century using all the tools that you have at hand, the infrastructure that you have today, and the knowledge that you have? We just need to bring it all together into one place. And the Chinese teacher Confucius said it very well. Tell me and I forget, teach me and I may remember, involve me and I will learn. So that's important factors, what we've mentioned before, about see, hear and do. So with Safety Pal, it's very simple. We can go onto the Safety Pal dashboard, we can add a safety video, type in the name of the video, upload the video, and we've suddenly got a portal to put all our question and answers in. Very easy, very simple. Add as many question and answers as you want because you do understand your employees and you know your business. We also need to use other forms of resource. We can go onto the HSE. We can download their documents, their guidance notes, and put them into Safety Pal question and answers, and we've got a training video. We can also grab their guidance notes. We can send these out in video form, or we can send them out in safety notifications, filtered to the worker that it matters for. Again, using different points to ensure we've got competent workers. All this together in one place. So we can improve training. We can use compelling videos. A short video there, 17 seconds long, you've probably seen of a guy coming off the back of a lorry. Now that video, along with the pallet truck safety, creates awareness, the pallet truck safety guidance notes, and we've got a training video. A training video that might cost us anywhere between £200 and £1,800 to get a company in to deliver. And our videos here are more compelling, and with the Q&A, you've got the proof that they did read and understand. And they can complete these training sessions 24/7, 365 on any site, any premises, using the tools that they have in their pocket. To increase this knowledge, again, a short 2-minute video on fire extinguishers, foam, water, powder. You know, we've all got these in our offices. Who knows which one to use? A 2-minute video, a few question answers, and we've now got a training video. And we potentially don't choose to do that today because it's going to cost us the time and the money to deliver fire extinguisher training. Also remember, if you've got a contractor working in your business, that you have a responsibility under Section 3 of the Health and Safety at Work Act. So you might want to be able to create induction videos for them to watch before they start work, so you can point out all the hazards, which obviously would have come out of your risk assessment. So it's not just your employees you need to worry about. The Health and Safety at Work Act covers the public, pedestrians, and contractors. So if they're frequent in your place of work. To help managers and directors engage with us, because they do see safety as a burden, and I do believe that that's because more unlikely it's cost, because we've got many managers doing different things to bring it all together. In Safety Pal, when a worker watches a video, reads a safety notification, it automatically goes and enters into their CPD portal, their continuing professional development portal. So we're putting everything in one place. Everything is date time stamped in a secure cloud-based location. So we can see here, if we click on achievements, accreditations, we have an expiry date. So Safety Pal will notify you that the certificate's expiring so you can rebook in the training. If you're one of your workers on a site and the client asks you for the certificate, you can just simply download it and it's there with them on their phone or tablet. Again, bringing it into one place. We can also look at the videos and look at the attempts and the questions that that worker took. So we can see the answers to understand if they was failed or passed. And if they failed, we can work with them. And if it was correct, we can then move on to the workers that need that little bit more help. Again, creating the proof and also helping that worker ensure they're safe. All in one place. So what does Safety Pal deliver? Well, it gives you access to all this information 24/7, 365. Anywhere, anytime. The videos that you can use, we can create compelling videos. You can grab these and create a training session. We can share this between all our workers, employees, contractors, and clients. so we can show our clients how great we are in delivering effective and efficient training. We can work with you to be ongoing and change and fluid in your business as a worker evolves, as the business grows. You need a system that can grow with you. We also need to reduce cost, a big part of any business. But as you can see, we could have implemented a pallet truck safety video of £1,800, and we've simply grabbed a video, bit of Q&A, used the guidance notes from the HSE, free information offline, and we've got our own training video. And also we're giving the proof, because we can prove that worker did answer that question. Through two-step authentication, we know that worker answered that question. And if we can check that on a daily basis, which SafetyPal does, then that's reducing your resource. So you have a choice. We can continue with being reactive or reduced training and keep our company at risk, or we can actually look forward and successfully manage this problem to ensure every worker is safer, is smarter, and that our business is compliant. So from watching this webinar, you kind of have that choice. Always ensure that we can be safer, smarter, and more compliant. So thank you very much for watching this webinar. Please take a look at our other webinars online, yoursafetypal.com/webinars. And please take a look on the free demo. We've only covered about 10% of what SafetyPal can do with regard to training. So you can request a free demonstration. And that means we can do an online demonstration, or we can come out to your business, your place of work, and show you the benefits that we will bring to your business. Thank you very much. Take care. Goodbye.